Father, Lord, we want to thank you for this day. We want to thank you, Father, for everything that is going to happen. Father, we welcome your hand to come and take us through, Lord. Let us get whatever they are going to teach us. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Thank you so much for the word of prayer, Bright Future Academy Bulanga. We would like to welcome everyone that has joined this call. Thank you so much for joining this program. Tomorrow we shall have chemistry at 9 a.m. We shall have a chemistry seminar and we shall be sharing the items to the evening. But at this point, allow me to welcome our facilitator that is going to be taking us through this session. To start off, Tr.Saphrah, you are most welcome and kindly take over.
Thank you so much, Teacher Stephen. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, you are very clear.
Thank you so much. Good evening, students. Good evening, teachers that could be in this meeting. You're most welcome. I'm so privileged to work with you this evening. We are going to be having our English facilitation. My name is Tr.Saphrah. I love teaching English. I love going through these things with my children. I love the challenges that we share together. I like challenging my children. I like them challenging me, and we learn and we get better together. So I prepared a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to share, and it will guide us as we go through these deliberations for these 2 hours. I encourage you to get a notebook. I encourage you to have your exercise book where you're going to write a thing or two and to prepare a question, because at the very end of the slides, I will have to ask you questions here and there. That doesn't mean you shouldn't raise your hand in case you have a question. As we go through these slides, please raise your hand and will allow you to unmute and you ask a question or two, and we shall together get the answers that we need. At the end of the day, the goal is for us to understand what the English exam is going to be like, what is required of us, how we should secure that A, how we should improve our skills, the language skills, writing, reading, listening, and speaking. That is the main goal. Thank you very much. Allow me to share the slide. Hey, Teacher Stephen, I'm hoping that my screen is clear.
Very clear.
Okay, so once again, you're welcome to our Senior 4 English Language Facilitation. And these are our learning outcomes. I am going to ask any student from any school to raise their hand and take us through our learning outcomes. What are the objectives? What do we intend to achieve by the end of this session? Any volunteer? Yes, St. Mary Assumpta Girls. Please unmute and take us through our learning outcomes.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening. How are you, dear? What's your name?
My name is Fiona.
Yes, Fiona, happy to hear from you. Please read for us the learning outcomes.
Our objectives are, by the end of this session, a student should be able to understand the structure of the English language assessment. 2 is discuss the principle of summary writing. 3, look at the sum obstruction from the charts.
Okay, sorry.
Then the third one is analyze the presentation of lessons, character traits, feelings to show comprehension. And then the fourth one is observe the formats of at least 3 aspects of functional writing. Then the last one is discuss the tactics to improve creative writing.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Fiona. You're such a wonderful reader.
Thank
So those
you.
are some of the things we intend to achieve. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. By the end of this session, these are some of the things we intend to achieve. I want that whoever attends this session will understand how the final assessment item is going to look like. How will that paper look like? We are going to see the different sections and what we expect and the things we are going to have to do to achieve excellent results or scores. Yes, we are also going to see the principles of summary writing. This is something that challenges most students. Sometimes they don't know what to do. And I pray that whoever attends this session will become a star in summary writing. Then for our second passage, they usually ask us to present some things to show comprehension. What lessons have you learned? Character traits, feelings. As you express them, you're also showing how you've understood the passage. So we are going to learn how to go about these ones. And then we are going to observe the different formats of some things. I managed to capture a few items here and there. And I'm hoping that by the end of this session, we will be well versed with the formats of the different aspects of functional writing. Let's say a letter, if they ask you to write a letter, how does it look? What about a speech? What about a curriculum vitae? So we are going to look at those different things, and I hope we shall be able to differentiate them and to earn all those marks when we are asked to write. Then we are going to discuss the tactics to improve creative writing. Story writing. They have asked you to write a story about the most exciting party you have ever attended. How are we going to be better presenters of those stories? We want to share the tactics here and there. The tactics are very many, the list is endless, but we're going to share to see how many we can go with and how we can improve our creative writing to earn all those marks in section B. Yes, that's what we intend to achieve. So on to our next slide, which is the structure of the assessment items. So if you're taking notes, you may have to maybe write this. Your paper or your assessment item, your final paper has two sections, like you may already know. Section A has two items. Item 1 is summary writing. When you open that script, you're going to find a passage which you will read, and the instruction or the task is for you to summarize it. Maybe there is a passage about drug abuse, and then the scenario is set for you. You are the chairperson of the youth council in your village, and they want you to deliver the message in 100 words. That question is asking you to summarize the passage, and you present it in the best way possible. Now, the second item in section A is another passage, yet another passage, but there to test your comprehension. You will read it, and after the passage, you will find some questions that have dashes. They are structured questions. In these questions, you are going to write your answers. You read the question, then go back to the passage, understand what is required of you, and then you write your answer. Yes, we are going to see how to go about those answers here and there. Then we have section B. Section B has functional writing or creative writing. You will find two items in this section, and then you are required to choose one of the two. You will find item 3 asking you to write maybe a speech or a letter. Then item 4 asking you to write a story. So you are required to pick one of the two, not both. Yes, we are going to see the different aspects and the things we need to consider while doing section B. There is a special slide for it ahead of us. Now, I would like to go straight to summary writing. Summary writing. You will be presented with a big passage that is maybe on like 2 pages, and they want you to read it and compress it into 50 words or 80 or 120, depending on what the question would look like. So what will you do? What are some of is there any school here that wants to share with us some of the things they have already talked about concerning summary writing? Please raise your hand and we share. I know you know something. I know your teachers have taken you through summary writing. So what are those things you must do when you are writing a summary piece? Yes, first share, then we see what I have prepared for us. Someone is using Techno Pop 6, so I'm going to ask them to unmute and share with us. Tell us the name of the school and then share. Yes, go ahead. Okay, that person is not talking. So let me ask Universal College. Yes, Universal College, you can unmute. Oh, Universal College, not unmuting. So let me give the chance to Paida Secondary School.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening to you. How are you and what's your name?
My name is Annie Ochuan Bedeses.
Okay, please share with us what you know.
So when you're provided with a passage that you have to summarize, first of all, you have to first go and read through the task that is given. Then you go and start reading through when you know that what you're going to write about, we're going to summarize about this and that. So when reading, you'll be noting down the key points. You just write it in form of notes, rough notes. So from there, you start summarizing the whole thing into the, like you go into the rough copy, you summarize, then you will count the number of words that is necessary. That is all I can say about it.
Okay, thank you so much, my dear representative of Paida Secondary School. That was a very good way to start us off. Yes, when you're going to write your summary, it is very important for you to read, because how are you going to summarize what you have not read through? Read through once or even twice for you to get the highlights of the passage, and then you will be able to start on your rough copy. Okay. Okay, I see here Luhugumu Jamia High School. Please unmute.
Good evening, members.
Good evening, madam. Good evening to you. How are you? Good evening. What's your name?
By names of Hassan Sekago.
Yes, Hassan. Please tell us.
Yes, I'm going to simply add on the other words, on the other contribution of our colleague, whereby after reading what we call free marks, the free marks that we always talk about is in the what? In the task, whereby you come and you see what the task requires you to do. For example, if they want the facts about the factors that contributed to something that is being indicated within the what? In the task, then you come up and after drawing the margin on the paper, because you have two margins here, at the beginning and at the end of the paper. Now you just write the heading from where there is, starting from where there is the facts about the factors that are contributing towards the what? Towards the what are called towards the what they are talking about. Then those marks, they are exactly 3 marks. Then after that, of course, you write the subject. Before writing the subject, you should do paragraph. What you call paragraph is that you leave a small space from the margin. That's what you call to paragraph. Then you write the subject. After writing the subject, then you start writing your views in a fair copy. But in a fair copy, then before you write it, you have to follow the order. whereby you have the order of you write a sentence, a comma, a sentence, a comma, another sentence, then you write and, you also end with the sentence. Meaning that whatever you are writing, you should be having, you should be having what we call the arrangement of the, let me say the sentence that you write before you put on a comma. You should have 3 signs, or you should have 2 full stop, not a full stop, because it's what? A comma. You should have 2 commas, and then you finally conclude the sentence with the what? In that way. So that's what I can say. Let another colleague add on.
Oh, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hassan. That is spot on. I am very confident that your teacher has done a wonderful job. Indeed, that summarizes most of the things I even want to talk about. Thank you so much for highlighting where we get the title, for talking about that one indented paragraph. Yes, you must leave some space, open that one indented paragraph for you to summarize the work that has been given to you in the passage. So I'm going to give one more school a chance, and then we'll go to the guidelines that I have prepared in the next slide. So Premier High School, you are the last people to comment on summary writing.
Good evening, members.
What's your name?
I'm called Daphne.
Yes, Daphne.
Your summary writing should have a heading, and your points should be separated with commas, whereby you have to use 3 commas, and after those commas, you have to connect your sentences, your points with a connective word, which is and other, and somewhere you put like in addition to, in order to get points. That's all.
Thank you so much, Daphne. Thank you for summarizing that. Yes, I like that. And I like the happiness in the background. Thank you very much for talking about our sentence structure. It is very, very important for you to know how many sentences or how many points you can put in just one sentence in your paragraph. And from Hassan's presentation and then Daphne, we can now all agree that you must not exceed 4 points. You put your 3 points and then a comma, and a connective, which is and, the conjunction and then you add the 4th point. So you must join at most 4 points. Yes, please don't be tempted to get all your points and you put like 10,000 commas and you say, hey, I have summarized. So you must put 4 points, put a full stop, then open another sentence that must start with a subject. If you have been discussing the causes of corruption, you've opened your first sentence and say corruption is caused by greed, poor sensitization, poor management, and weak laws. You put a full stop. You open another sentence. It is caused by, then you put other 4 points and put a full stop. Thank you very much for all the people that have commented. So here are some of the helpful tips that I have got. And I am going to ask one person to read the introduction, and then I will get another to read for me the points to note. Have Come Seed School, please unmute and read for us the introduction.
Yes, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name?
My name is Jovia Mary Nampija.
Yes, Jovia.
The introduction to summary writing. Summary writing means condensing a longer text into a shorter version, hitting the main points while leaving out the details. It's like giving the highlights of a movie without telling the whole story.
Thank you so much, Jovia. Yes, indeed. Summary writing is just that. You will be given a longer passage and your job is simple. You're supposed to condense it into a shorter version, presenting the main points, leaving out the details. As you're writing your summary piece, I don't expect to find examples, explanations, details. You are giving the main points. If they have asked for the causes of corruption, go to that passage and underline the things that lead to corruption. Those are the only ones you are going to present in the rough copy, and practice and count the words, and later on go to the fair copy where you will have your main work that is going to be marked. Yes, thank you very much, Jovia, for taking us through the introduction. Now we have points to note. Points to note. I think I'm going to pick a school that is going to read for me these points from beginning to the end, and then I'm going to explain to them briefly, and then we move to the example given ahead. So I have this school that has Oloya Geoffrey. Please unmute and read for us the points to note. You could take turns and share them. One person can read like the first three, and another person the next three, and like that until when we get to the very last tip. So please unmute Oloya Geoffrey.
You start the introduction. Thank you very much. Are you hearing me well?
Yes, we are. What's your name?
My name is Omar Timothy from Padive Senior Secondary School. I will be taking you through the points to note. 1. The student must read the passage and identify the key points required by the questions. 2. You must have both a
Hello, Timothy. We've lost you.
A rough copy is your the fair copy, on the other hand, is your published version. You take your rough copy and refine it, correct errors, improve clarity, and ensure it flows well. It's like baking a cake. Rough copy is the better. Fair copy is the decorated cake ready for the party. 3. Copy and the rough copy. 4. The title must be written in capital letters. It should not be underlined and must not be written in small letters. 5. Begin the summary with the subject or topic sentence. Next one, do not outline points, and most importantly, do not use a colon or a semicolon. Do not use words like her, the following. Include or any words that indicate listening. Do not use more than 2 commas in a sentence. Keep the word range that has been given to you. Any points that go beyond the word limit shall not be marked. Avoid tense errors. Avoid construction errors. Construct grammatically correct sentences. Do not outline the points in the rough copy. Do not cross out the rough copy. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Timothy, for you're such an excellent reader. Thank you for taking us through confidently from the beginning to the end. And I'm going to first pause there for like 1 minute, and I allow you to go through these points as a class and look at them. Some of you can read them out again, others can read them silently, and see if we are on the same page concerning summary writing. This is our very first item, and nothing should go wrong with it. So I'm going to first pause for 1 minute, and also I will also keep quiet and allow you to internalize these guidelines. They are very important, very, very important. Okay, thank you. So before I progress to the next slide, is there any group that has a question? Because these are our guidelines and these determine whether you get all the marks or not. So if you have any question, please raise your hand and ask you to unmute. Yes, some group is using Samsung. Please unmute and ask. Okay, not responding. So St. Francis Namagoma, please unmute if you have a question.
Good evening. My name
Good
is
evening.
Gigi and from St. Francis High School, Namagoma. And my question is,
Yes, Gigi, I can hear you.
what
Please
does
go
this
ahead.
point, what does it mean that,
Gigi, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
what does it mean that do not outline the points in the rough copy? I did not understand it.
Okay, thank you so much, Gigi. That's such a wonderful question.
Thank you
Now,
so much, Gigi.
as you're writing your summary piece, some students are in the habit of just outlining the points as the way I have outlined here, my points to note. Like point one, begin the summary with the subject, avoid tense errors, putting those bullet points. That is not correct. Even in the rough copy, you must start developing your one paragraph. And I'm going to show you an example of a rough copy. It should not be an outline of points. It should be your practice ground where you're starting to develop your one paragraph that has complete sentences, one after the other, for you to be able to count the words and confirm that you have the required number, and then you transfer your work from the rough copy to the fair copy. So that is what that point means. Do not outline the points like bullet points. Start developing your one paragraph in the rough copy. And when you go to the fair copy, so your fair copy and the rough copy must kind of look alike, just that the rough copy has crossings, deleting, adding, and then the fair copy is the final copy that is neat and it looks very good. So I hope that answers your question, Gigi. And now I'm going to allow, let me see a school that has not spoken. Isaac Maxo, if you're there and you have a question, please unmute.
Name. Name of school. The school.
Yeah, for me, I just want to know whether I cannot use that comma and I just use just my point and I put a full stop. I write another point. I put a full stop without doing those comma and is also allowed.
Okay, thank you so much. I didn't capture your name, but I am going to answer. So writing one point independently will cost you. At the end of the day, if you want 100 words and each sentence is disjointed, you will find that you will have only a few points in the 100 words. So it is advisable for you to join at least 2 points, at most 4 points. That is for you to be safe and have your 100 words, but still capture all the points given in the passage. Yes, it's very important for you to learn how to use the commas to join the points and the conjunction. It helps you to get the 100 words when you also have the points. Otherwise, you will find yourself with each point in the same sentence. Remember, each sentence must have a subject. So if each point comes with a subject, each point subject, you will find that you have wasted your words in writing all the subjects. So it's very important for you to learn the art of joining these points using commas and conjunctions. Yes, I will receive one more question and then go to the example. Maybe when I present the example, you will be able to have all the questions answered. So Wilson Chiega, please unmute if you have a question.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. What's your name?
My name is Rogers.
Yes, Rogers.
When I was asking you on point number 4, they have
Point
said that
number 3.
it
Yes.
is number 4, which states that the title must be written in capital letters, should not be underlined, and must not be written in small letters. What if I write my title in small letters and then I underline?
No, Rogers, I want to encourage you to use capital letters and not to underline, because that is the guideline. With me here is the guideline from a senior examiner, and for you to get a 0-0, yes, for you to get a 0-0, that's one way to qualify, writing your title in small letters. If your title is wrong, you get 0-0. If your title is incomplete, and by incomplete title, I mean it doesn't have the article. Sometimes they'll ask you to write the advantages of computers. So if your title is advantages of computers without the article, the advantages, then it qualifies for a 0-0 because it's incomplete. So now, one other way to get a 0-0 is writing your title in small letters. Please try to always use capital letters. That is the only way you are going to get the marks. Okay. Rogers, does that answer your question?
What?
Yes, please.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Tim.
After writing a rough copy, do we cross it out?
No. Do you see this point? The last point to note?
Yes.
Do not cross out your rough copy. Just leave it there. Write it and leave it there. That the examiner knows that this is the rough copy. If anything, they are labeled. The rough copy is called rough copy. The fair copy is fair copy, and your examiner will mark the fair copy.
Okay, thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Okay, I encourage you to keep your microphone muted unless you are giving a question. Thank you very much. So now going to show passage, which we are going to use to analyze the rough copy and fair copy. I tried to get a shorter passage because we don't have a lot of time. Okay. So let me ask someone to read for me. Please raise your hand if you would like to take us through this short passage. Okay, someone from Mamba Secondary School, please take us through the reading.
Can I read?
Yes, please.
Many researchers have argued that drug addiction is a brain disease. Every type of drug has its own way of affecting or transforming the brain. The brain can undergo serious and long-lasting hunger with increased drug use. For example, alcohol, which is a depressant, can cause malnutrition among heavy drinkers. Alcohol is a high calories and as such suppresses appetite. It also causes vitamin C deficiency by interfering with absorption of vitamin B from the intestines. Other physical effects include liver damage, heart disease, and increased risk of stroke and susceptibility to infections due to suppressed immune system. Women who drink while pregnant can give birth to babies with fetal alcohol syndrome and who are also underweight. The long-term effect of alcohol is brain damage. Specifically, alcohol can cause memory loss. Cocaine, a stimulant, has been known to increase wakefulness and alertness. Users report a sense of energy and confidence, and a feeling that any problem can be solved and any task accomplished. However, when the drug wears off, the user experiences a hangover which is characterized by extreme fatigue and depression, irritability, disorientation, and agitated motor activity. Large amounts of cocaine can cause restlessness, hallucination, and delusions. Long-term effects have been associated with severe depression, suicidal tendencies, disrupted thinking, and just like in the case of alcohol, brain damage. This demonstrates that drugs are specifically designed to alter the arrangement of brain cells. When a young person whose young brain is still being molded starts to abuse drugs for whatever reasons, that a person is dramatically altered both physically and mentally. Young people should learn to say no to drugs.
Okay, thank you for taking us through the reading. Members, kindly mute. Please keep muted. It allows us to all benefit from the session. Thank you very much. Thank you, our reader. Friends, please keep muted. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's keep muted. So thank you to our reader for taking us through the passage. As you can see, this passage is about the effects of alcohol and drug abuse. So when you read such a passage and you're going to summarize it, I encourage you to read it like twice. Please keep muted. See. Okay. So you must read it like twice for you to be able to pick all the points therein. And after highlighting the points, then you go and look at the task. What is the question at hand? What do they want from you? And then you go ahead to, just a moment. Okay, so the task given here is you are the Youth Alive chairman of your school. Please allow me to first pause and mute all. Okay. Just a moment. Let's try to keep muted, please. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so our task is here, and it is saying, after reading that passage, you are the Youth Alive chairman of your school. Advise your club members about the effects of alcohol and cocaine on the user as shown in the passage. Use about 120 words. Yes. So as a candidate, you are supposed to write your title in capital letters. Yes. And you're not supposed to underline it. I can see this candidate here attempted to underline, but I encourage you to write the title in capital letters and do not underline it. For example, the effects, like, was it Hassan? Hassan emphasized that when you're writing the title, start from here. And he said these are free marks. The effects of alcohol and cocaine on the user. Just that. Write it the way it is in capital letters because that's what they want from you. The effects of alcohol and cocaine on the user. Start from here. Advise your club members about dash and you're good to go. Yes, and you write it in capital letters. Then, as you start now, this will even answer the question of the other person that asked me. I think it was Daphne, that what do you mean by do not outline the points? This is what I mean. Even in the rough copy, start to develop your paragraph. And your paragraph starts with a topic word. This one, yes, you must have the subject of discussion, at least in the very first point. You must, if you're discussing deforestation, the first word here after indenting must be deforestation is caused by, corruption leads to, alcohol causes malnutrition. You must present this word. Then in the other sentences, you're free to use the pronoun it leads to, it gives one a sense of energy. You're allowed to use the pronouns, but the first sentence must carry the subject. Without the subject, the examiner will not mark any point until when they find the subject of discussion. Olade, please stop. Please stop. Don't do that to our work. Olade, you stand a chance to get removed from the meeting. Please don't do this to our work. Okay, so this is our rough copy and this is our practice ground. As you can see, it is not the student that crossed through it. It is the teacher. For you, just write it and leave it. The teacher knows that you have practiced this work and you are not copying, or you are not going to suffer as you're writing the fair copy. Okay, so here, oh my God. Just a moment as we remove Olade's work. Olade, you have done us not so good. Please don't play with our work. Okay, thank you for your patience. So this is our fair copy, and this is where your teacher is going to mark. Exactly. So we start with the title, The Effects of Alcohol and Cocaine on the User. So the candidate here presented, and remember they had asked for 120 words. So when you're asked to write in 120 words, you will be allowed a space of plus or minus 5 words to help in the word limit. So as you're writing, you need to work around that. You can have 115 or 125 just there. Don't have less words. Don't be asked for 120 and use 60 words. Those are signs and symptoms of a candidate that wants to fail. So these are how your sentences are going to look like. For example, alcohol causes malnutrition among heavy drinkers, suppresses appetite, and causes vitamin deficiency. Yes, like I said, you can join 2 to 4 points. So this candidate joined 3, and that is okay. It leads to liver damage, heart disease, increased risk of stroke, and susceptibility to infections. Now, I wanted to get to this point here, causes pregnant women. When you write like this without it causes, that small word it will cost you some marks there because it is the subject of that very sentence. When you start with the word causes without it, then it makes your sentence incomplete. I will repeat. When you're writing the first sentence, you must present the subject, alcohol. Then in the subsequent sentences or the sentences that come next, you can only use, you're allowed to use the pronouns it or they if you're discussing like things in plural. But without this it, your points will be marked by half, and that's how you will be dropping from like maybe 5 to 3 because like 3 of your points will not carry equal marks. So I had to pick this example to emphasize this point. You must add the subject. It causes, it leads, it gives, it causes tastelessness, hallucination. It leads to severe depression, suicidal tendencies, disrupted thinking, and brain damage. So this is an example of how you can write your one paragraph. Please make sure you follow what Hassan told us. I highly encourage you to do it. Draw the margin here and draw the margin here for you to know where to stop and when to start on a new line. Because if you stop somewhere here, which I'll take it that you have started a new sentence or a new paragraph, and all your points following will be marked by a half. So endeavor to write very well, starting from the margin that you will have drawn, indent clearly. Some students know how to indent like from here to here, and you find that it is not clear. It's as if they are writing a block paragraph. Please always indent clearly and leave some space. I advise you to leave 2 centimeters from the margin as you're developing your one paragraph. I mean, it's one paragraph. Why wouldn't you show it clearly? So this is how you summarize your work, presenting only the points. No examples, no details, no explanations, just the effects of alcohol and cocaine on the user. Yes. So I'm going to pause for a minute or two in case there is someone that wants to write this, and we shall continue after 2 minutes. You could take a break and stretch. If you're not copying this, you could stand. If you want to take a water break, we are going to use 2 to 3 minutes and then we proceed with other things. Okay. Welcome back from the break. So I'm going to read through some of the guidelines that I have here on paper. Please pay attention because I'm going to read them verbatim. Yes. So as you're summarizing your work, make sure you write a correct title in capital letters, and you write using one indented paragraph. Yes. Please have the right title, because having the wrong title will get you 0 for the title. Do not skip lines or do not use block paragraphing. Use this type. Make sure you leave some space here and you start in this same line. Do not skip a line. When you skip a line, you will lose marks. Then for the content, your subject must appear in the first sentence, and it must not be a pronoun. The word alcohol, what you're discussing, the subject must appear in the first sentence. Someone has already emphasized that. I think it was Timothy. You must have this subject here, and it must not be a pronoun. Each sentence must be complete, like I emphasized here. Each sentence must have its subject, verb, object. Even when you start a new sentence here, subject, verb, object. So each sentence must be complete for it to give you complete marks. And by complete sentence, I mean you must have it leads to brain damage and all the other points are added. Make sure you have good spellings. Do not misspell words here and there. I mean, for Christ's sake, the words are given to you in the passage. How can you misspell a word that is already given in the passage? So be careful not to misspell. And how do you check that? When you write the rough copy, go and look at all the words, proofread your work, and make sure you have the right spellings. Make sure you don't use contractions like don't, can't, won't. Make sure you don't have them, because they will lead to loss of marks. If you have more than 2 commas in a sentence, it means you're joining very many points. Make sure you have at most 2 commas and then a conjunction. For example, how it is illustrated here. It leads to depression, suicidal tendencies, disrupted thinking, and brain damage. That is how you can join your points. However, this candidate here didn't get the marks here because she didn't put the subject. It leads to, but her order of the points is perfect. So I encourage you to put that it leads, it causes, it helps you to have all the marks. Do not start any sentence with a conjunction. And, although, I expect you to start with a subject, it. In case there is transition, our question here doesn't have transition, but in case you're presenting like the advantages and disadvantages, you will still use one paragraph and you will show transition. For example, if you've written the advantages and you stop here, so you continue from here. However, computers also have disadvantages, and then you present the disadvantages given. I hope that makes sense. If you're having advantages and disadvantages, still you will use one paragraph and show transition from advantages to disadvantages using words like however, although, to show that now you've moved from advantages and you're showing the other side of whatever you're discussing. Do not break that work into 2 paragraphs. So I beg to stop summary writing here, and then we move to something else. You can reserve any question that you have. At the end of the session, we will have questions. Okay. So now we have moved on to the second passage. The second passage is for comprehension, reading comprehension. And here we are testing your understanding. To comprehend is to understand. Comprehension comes from the word comprehend. So in the second passage, you will find structured questions. You read a passage, and at the end, you will find questions that are testing your understanding. In everything you do under that passage, make sure you're proving to have understood the work in the passage. But I chose just 3 aspects that usually challenge candidates. 1, presenting lessons. 2, presenting feelings. And 3, presenting character traits. And I'm going to go straight to lessons. When you're reading a passage and they ask you to present, what lessons do you understand? Do you pick from this passage? Or what have you learned from this reading? What's your take home? But usually it's about lessons. Now, the main tip for presenting your lessons is using proverbs and life facts. For example, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And then you go ahead and illustrate it. Don't just drop the proverb and leave it at that. It may not get you excellent scores. So when you write a friend in need is a friend indeed, because in the passage, Malcolm, Joanne's friend, drives her to the hospital when she's bleeding and saves her life. Meaning you have read, say, a passage that has a story about 2 friends. One is bleeding, the other comes and takes the other to the hospital and saves her life. So that's your lesson. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Now, from the passage we've just read, the one that we have summarized, what if they had asked us to generate a lesson? What do we learn? Prevention is better than cure. Women who drink alcohol while pregnant may lose their babies, and the antidotes given may not be of so much help. After reading that passage, now you know. Someone may say, I'm going to take my alcohol when I'm pregnant, and then I'll take medicine. But we have learned that prevention is better than cure. Please try to present your lessons like that. I want to warn you against using negative sessions or negative presentations. For example, I learned to avoid alcohol. That's wrong. What do you learn then? What do you learn? I learned not to drink alcohol while pregnant. That is wrong. I encourage you to use the proverbs or use a positive lesson. But I highly encourage you to use proverbs that indicate that you've learned a life lesson or 2. Yes. I'm going to pause for 30 seconds in case one person is writing. And this is exactly how you are going to present them in your paper. After reading a question that wants you to present a lesson, think about a proverb that may present wisdom. Too much of anything is always bad. And then you go ahead to illustrate what is too much in the passage and how bad is it. One by one makes a bundle. If, say, you've seen someone in the passage who is gathering something, and at the end of the day, they have a whole lot of what they need, then your life fact or the lesson taken home is one by one makes a bundle. One man's meat is another man's poison. That's also another thing that you can learn. I encourage you to illustrate your lessons. Please don't just drop the proverb. Put the proverb and show that you have understood where you have drawn it from in the passage. You put the proverb and then illustrate it with your with an explanation from the passage. That is the only way you're going to show that you have understood the passage. So 30 seconds in case someone is writing that. Okay, so I hope we have grasped that. In case you have any question about the lessons, please write it in your notebook, and at the end of the session, we shall entertain all these questions and answer them. For now, the take home is use a proverb or a life fact, and then explain it or illustrate it using the information given in the passage. Now, feelings. Feelings. Questions like, what feelings are evoked in you by the mob justice done to Richard in the passage? How do you feel after reading this passage? Will be common in the work that you do. When you find them, please answer them like this. I am going to ask one person to read for me these correct responses. Anyone willing to read our answers for how we express feelings? I'm going to ask this girls' school to unmute Iban Baz Girls. Please unmute and tell me how you pronounce your school's name and the name of the person reading.
This is Ibn Baz Girls Secondary School. And presenting feelings in you by the mob. How do you feel after reading this passage? I am filled with pity because of the unsolicited torture. Richard goes through, yet he is innocent. I am disappointed by the residents of Goma village for beating Richard up to without
Okay, thank you so much for taking us through, much as the connection was up and down and not on and off. But thank you for offering to take us through these feelings. Candidates, when you ask to present your feelings, please find a word that describes exactly how you feel. I discourage you from using words like, I feel good, I feel bad. I mean, how bad? How good? If it's pity that you're feeling, indicate it. Don't say you feel nice. Nice is ambiguous. It doesn't clearly tell how you are feeling. If you are filled with disappointment, write it. If you are sorry, if you're sad, if you're happy, if you're relieved, if you're excited, please write that and then go ahead and explain the source of your feelings. Don't just drop the feelings and leave it at that. Do not forget that at the end of the day, we are trying to test your comprehension of the story. What has hurt you? As you're explaining the beating and how they have not asked Richard to explain his side of the story, you're showing that you have understood the story of the passage indirectly. So I encourage you to put the feeling and then explain it very well. Now, as you're presenting the feeling, do not say, I feel pity. I am filled with pity, or I am disappointed. I am saddened. I am glad. I am glad that the girls in the passage go to school and they actually graduate and enjoy themselves. So whatever you've read and understood, you are going to present here clearly. There are some candidates that in my lessons, I call them magicians. Say, I am disappointed, and they leave it at that. What has disappointed you? You're not going to get any marks for just saying that you are disappointed. you must go ahead and indicate what has disappointed you. If I must tell you, the examiner is interested in your explanation of your disappointment than the disappointment itself. So go ahead and break it down and explain why you're disappointed. Explain why you're filled with pity, why you are sorry, why you are sad, why you are why you are curious. So explain your feeling and then go ahead and illustrate it with the information in the passage. Okay, so that's it about feelings. If you have any question about them, still note it down, and we shall also get a point where we answer all those questions. So analyzing character. Analyzing character. You will find such questions. What is the character of the residents of Goma village as presented in the passage? Comment on Rachel's traits as presented in the passage. What are your conclusions on so-and-so's character or behavior according to what he does at his uncle's wedding or at the burial? So you will find such questions that are asking for your analysis of character traits. And some questions are tricky. They may not even add for you the word traits. They will leave you at the word character. What is the character of so-and-so as presented in the passage? So these are some of the words that can help you. The list is endless. The list is really endless. You must be able to put a word that describes someone's behavior when you're describing character. And don't leave it at that. Go ahead and present why you think that is someone's character trait. So a minute for people that want to write down some of these words, a minute or two, and then we shall go ahead to read and explain some of these things. Okay, I'm going to invite someone from St. Elizabeth's Girls to read for us the answer given here. Yes. Yes, please unmute and read for us the answer here in green. Comment on the character of the residents. What is the character of the residents of Goma village as presented in the passage? Here is a sample answer. Please unmute St. Elizabeth's Girls. Yes, you're unmuted.
What is the character of the residents of Goma village as presented in the passage? Comment on Raquel's traits as presented in the passage. The residents of Goma are ruthless because they mercilessly hit Richard's head without hearing him out.
Thank you so much. I didn't get your name though. What's your name?
I am Aujumasi Linda.
Okay, thank you so much, Mercy, for reading for us that answer. Yes, when you're asked to comment on the character traits of someone, you must find a word like merciless. It describes who they are, and then go ahead and give the example or illustration of what they have done in the passage for you to come to that conclusion that they are ruthless. Someone who is ruthless can also be insensitive, can be detached, inconsiderate. As long as you can spell this word very well and you give it the illustration, you're good to go. Now, before I even leave this presentation of character, I'm going to comment on presentation of your opinion. As your some questions will ask for your opinion. You say, in your opinion, what should be done to people that practice mob justice? Even if you love mob justice, you as the candidate, you are supposed to give an answer that is plausible, an answer that is showing that you're considerate and you mind how other people feel, or give a response that is practical. I wouldn't want you to write an answer like people who practice mob justice should be given awards, should actually be thanked for reducing lumpens in our society. No. There is a better way. And as you're giving your opinion or measures, you must give a measure that shows that you are sensible and you are sensitive how other people feel and you look to improve everyone. So answers that ask for your opinion are also looking out for your morality. How do you behave? So make sure you present answers that show that you know what you want and what other people are supposed to go through. Make sure the measures you give are practical. Don't give a response that is not practical or doable. For example, if people practice mob justice, maybe these people, in your opinion, they need sensitization of the laws of the country. Maybe if we have drug abuse and they ask you what should be done to students that abuse drugs in schools, please don't give responses like they should be expelled from school. Now, when you expel them from school, where are you sending them? To which kind of society? These children need guidance and counseling. They need to be taken to rehabilitation centers for them to reflect on their life choices. They need to be advised by their parents. So I want you to always think about your opinion and present an answer that is practical, correct, plausible, and achievable. Something that shows that you're sensible. Don't say, let us kill. What if there is a thief in your village? And they ask you, what should we do to this thief? Let us kill him here and now, even burn his house and his children. Such responses give you a 0 there and then, much as some people will do that. But as you're analyzing some of these topics, we want to raise children that have practical and sensible solutions. For example, guidance and counseling, creation of jobs, or in case someone is stealing out of their need, creation of jobs, providing loans to people for them to start working, then intensifying sensitization on laws and guidelines in society, holding meetings in villages to improve communication of the standards required. So when you meet such a question, it is asking you to give a practical solution that is going to help this country. Okay. So now I want us to take a break of like 1 minute or 2, and then we transition to section B. A break, and then we go to section B. Okay. Welcome back. We are now going to section B. Like I told you at the beginning of our session, our paper has 2 sections. Now, what we've discussed is all in section A and is compulsory. Each question in section A is compulsory. Section B, however, has 2 items and a candidate must choose one. Yes, you will find 2 questions and you should choose one. Please don't do both in section B. Choose one and indicate it. In your paper, you will have answer sheets. Please, on that answer sheet, write that for me, I have done item 3 or item 4, not both. Now, what is the purpose of section B? Section B looks for creativity and your ability to produce your own work. In the first section, you're reading other people's works, you're reading a passage and you're summarizing it. But here, there is a question that is asking you to write your own work. And it is assessed based on the format FCL, format, content, and language. Yes, as we are marking your speech, marking your passage, marking the letter that you will write, marking the story, we shall have FCL. Yes. Okay. So what is F? Format. If they have asked you to write a speech, are you writing a speech? Is it looking like a speech? If it's a letter, are you writing a letter? If it's an informal letter, are you writing an informal letter with the address as it is required? If it's a formal letter, does it look like one? If it's a story, does it look like one with the expected passages, with the expected paragraphs and the titles and everything? So you will get your first marks from producing the right format. If you're writing a dialogue, does it look like a dialogue in your eyes? If it's not, then chances are high you're not going to get those marks. If you're writing a format and it's missing a few things here and there, like I'm going to illustrate with the examples in the subsequent slides, then you may get maybe half of the awarded mark. So you need to be sure that you're producing the required format. Well, after seeing that you have written a dialogue, now the examiner will go ahead to see if the content you're providing is relevant to the question asked. If they have asked you to advise your peers about the dangers of drinking alcohol, is the content actually advising these people? Are you answering the question and not misfiring? That's when you will get your other marks for producing the right content. Then we have language. Under language, are you punctuating correctly? Are you spelling these words correctly? Are you presenting your work very well? And that is how you will get your other marks, especially for language. Language, that is where we come to you. Is your vocabulary right? Are you having some words that show that you're a superstar, that you know English? Is your work original? Are you producing relevant work to what is required of you? Are you using the tenses correctly, or you're mixing them up? I know some candidates who like writing using the present simple tense as they are writing compositions. And before you know it, they are switching to the past tense, coming back to the present simple tense. So under language, we are going to see if you're consistently using the right tense, punctuation, word spellings, then sentence order. Do you have complete sentences with subjects, verbs, and objects? Are you starting sentences with a capital letter? Are you writing proper nouns starting with a capital letter? Or you're writing words like Wednesday, like months, like towns, starting with a small letter? Are you writing people's names starting with a small letter? There you're losing out. So language, as you're producing your work, is very important. The content is paramount. Having the right format, non-negotiable. If you're writing a letter and it looks like an essay, chances are high you will get a 0. So let's begin with this FCL in section B, because this is where our marks fall. This is where the guide focuses. Okay. Now, I would like to move to the examples. I have started with an informal letter. This is how your informal letter looks. Please look at it and prepare to have some questions in case there is something that doesn't sit with what you have learned with your teacher. Just take notes, and we are going to share in the last 15 minutes about the question. So an informal letter has one address, the writer's address. The writer's address, and it is on the right hand corner of the page. Okay. The date must be written like that. 13th, the TH is also on the line, not the small ones that are up there. You're not a computer. You write using your hand. So I expect you to write your date like that in full. Do not stroke it. And then, dear, don't say hi or anything. Dear Chuck, dear Rachel, dear Brenda. Then greet your friend and show why you are writing to them in that very first paragraph. Then go ahead and design other paragraphs relevant to the content that you're giving. Please also use indented paragraphs. Like you can see, this candidate did not skip lines, and that is the right thing you are supposed to do. Do not skip lines. Once you're introducing a new idea, please indent. Do not skip lines. Then as you're concluding, this is an informal letter you're writing to your friend. So you write, your friend Esther, your friend Rachel, your friend Richard, your friend Liz, something like that. Let's take a look and organize any questions if we have them, or if we want to remember how to write a friendly letter. Do not skip any line anywhere. Do not skip any line anywhere. Okay, so moving to a formal letter, before I even project it, I want to know if there is any school that is willing to write for us just the address of a formal letter, an official letter. If you're there and you're ready with your board and chalk and you want to write for me how you start a formal letter, please raise your hand if you're ready. Let me see. Do we have someone from Safe Haven Christian High School that wants to write for us the address of a formal letter? Safe Haven, do you think you're ready? On your board to write for us how a formal letter looks, especially the addresses. We won't go to the content. I want someone to illustrate that. Okay. St. Mary Assumpta girls, is anyone ready to write for us on their board to teach us how a formal letter looks? Oh, okay. They are not ready. How about Luhugumu?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Stu. How are you?
How about I just demonstrate how they do it without writing?
I thought we would have someone to demonstrate, because I have the demonstration here. I just need something practical, something on the board. If any school is willing, if any school is willing, please raise your hand. Premier High, are you ready? Okay, Bishop Taran. Okay. That was me buying time for anyone that wants to copy a thing or two from the informal letter. So our informal letter is like that. The address is slanting, like you can see. Ravenclaw is here. PO box comes like this. Kingsway, London comes here. And then the date is on the same line like the first letter here. It is slanting, and then the address is here. Then dear Chuck, dear Rachel, dear Richard is on the margin on the left of your book. So also remember that. Then you start indenting as you open your first paragraph, second, third, fourth, and then you conclude it like that. So here is an example of a formal letter. Let's take a look. I have someone from Premier High that wanted to illustrate. Now here is an example for you. Is an example for you to use as you illustrate the structure of a formal letter. Are you ready from Premier High? Anyone from okay, anyone willing to explain to us this beautifully written letter and what these things mean? What is RE? What's this? Why is it in capital letters? What's this? What's this? Okay. Yes, someone from Premier High, you're already unmuted.
Thank you. About the format of the formal letter, we have the writer's address and the receiver's address, and then we give the greetings or the salutation to any, because if you don't know the specific person, you say dear sir or madam, then you come to the reference and we come to the body. After the body, we give the conclusion, where if you have any connection to that person in office, you can say yours sincerely, and if you do not have any connection, you say yours faithfully. And at the direct position, which is the right arm of the paper.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't get your name. What's your name?
Yvonne.
Thank you so much, Yvonne, for your wonderful explanation of what a formal letter is. I am so proud of you. So this is how your formal letter is going to look. It has two addresses. The writer's address is on the right-hand side here. Like you can see, Shannon Sud, PO Box 1560, Bushenyi, and the date is written fully. Please don't put 06 or stroke or what. Write your date like this. In case you think you're going to forget, please write it down in your book the way it is on this paper. Then on this other hand side, the left-hand side, without skipping a line, you are going to write the receiver's address. Who are you writing to? The human resource manager of where? sometimes you will find a question that is asking you to write to the chairperson LC5 of your district, and some candidates forget to put their district. So you're supposed to put the chairperson LC5 of Ntungamo district or Gulu district. You are supposed to put the place where this letter is going. Indicate the office you are writing to. Then give it its box number like that. And then put a full stop here, not a comma, full stop. Sorry about that. Then on the margin, please write the salutation and be sure of the person you're writing to. You know, we have now gone past the information age where you're writing to someone and you don't know if they are male or female. Please be sure of the person you're writing to and have one, say, dear sir. If it's a woman, dear madam. Please do not put dear sir stroke madam. Be sure of the person you're writing to. It is so disappointing for someone to write to your office and they don't even know you by gender. You can go to any company website and you ask, who is the human resource manager of All Saints Primary School? And you'll know them by name and gender. Please indicate if it's a sir or madam. Some people have their insecurities in their lives. You find that all someone's life, some people have been bullying him that he looks like a woman. And as you're writing to their office, you're writing, dear sir, stroke madam. Hey, that person will not consider your application. Please be fair to yourself and discover who you're writing to and choose one gender, dear sir. If it's a woman, dear madam. Yes, sometimes the question will be giving you highlights that you're writing to the woman MP. They say you have seen the things happening in your school, how some children are dropping out of school. Write to the woman MP of your school, of your district. And then you're saying, dear sir, stroke madam, you're losing it. So you choose dear madam in such a situation. Then this is the reason for writing. Please be keen on this. You put capital R and small e. Do not write RE like religious education. Write reason, short form for reason. Capital R, small e. You can indicate this in your book in case you think you're going to forget. And then put the colon, not semicolon, put colon, these two dots, there are two. Then write your reason for writing this letter. Application for the job of a science teacher. Resignation from my job as a science teacher. Apology for missing morning prep. So indicate your reason for writing in capitals. And then write your work. The first paragraph is the introduction. It must show why you're writing. I wish to apply for the job of a science teacher in All Saints Primary School as advertised on 24th May 2025 in the New Vision newspaper edition 1. You're showing why you're writing. Why are you applying for a job? Did we say we have a vacancy? So you're proving to them that they asked and now you are applying. If you're apologizing, you have to indicate that I am writing to your office to apologize for missing morning prep, and then other details will follow in the other paragraphs. So this is an application letter. You indicate a few things in your experience. Indicate another paragraph that shows your abilities and why you should be the one chosen over all the others. And then anything that is relevant. In a formal letter, your tone must be serious. Do not use contractions. Stick to the reason for writing. Don't start greeting, asking about the weather, asking about things that may not concern the office. Keep your tone serious and straightforward because this is an official letter. Or even if you're writing to someone that is a friend to you, as long as you're writing to them through their office and it's not an informal letter, you must keep serious and straightforward. Then how do we conclude? Yours faithfully with a comma, or if someone is familiar to you, like how Yvonne explained, you're going to say yours sincerely. Let's say you're already in the company and you're writing to someone you know, you're writing to a head teacher, yet you're a teacher and maybe you're asking for leave. There you say yours sincerely. Sign first. Remember, sign first. Candidates, tell your neighbor, sign first. Yes, sign first, then write your name in capital letters. Sign first, name in capital letters, and that will be a perfect formal letter. Okay, so moving on. Sorry, I have to rush through. I'm going to share these slides with you in case you want to copy these things. What if they ask you to produce a document that presents your credentials and experience and the things you've done? This is called a curriculum vitae. I'm going to try to expand it. I'm going to try my level best to expand it and go through it quick because time is not on my side anymore. In a curriculum vitae, you're going to have your biodata, which includes name, address, email address, telephone number, nationality, gender, if it's necessary. For some jobs, you don't have to put, but if it's necessary, you put it, date of birth, educational background, work experience, and in your work experience, you must also indicate the years when you worked in this institution, which institution it is, and if any responsibilities were held, you will have to mention them. Then, if you have any other skills, it's a good time for you to show off. If you have any objective in life, it's a good time for you to present it. If you have anything that summarizes who you are, you can also include it in your curriculum vitae. Hobbies. As you're writing hobbies, try to sound sensible. Don't say your hobbies is eating at midnight. Eating sweet potatoes at midnight. No. That may be your hobby, but it's not necessary as you're writing a CV. Write hobbies like reading, visiting, family, traveling, coding, improving computer skills, graphic designs. And as you're choosing your hobbies, choose those that are relevant to the job you want. Interacting with children if you want to become a teacher or a nurse, and things like that. Then at the end of it all, you must have referees. Oh, no, sorry. You also indicate the languages you can speak and your level of fluency. Yes, indicate you can speak English and you're excellent or you're very fluent. Spanish, very fluent. If you can speak Runyankore, indicate, are you excellent at it? How about, is it in written or spoken? You can clarify on that and you're good to go. Referees, these are the people we can call to verify that your information given is correct. Indicate them in your curriculum vitae. And you must have at least 2 of them and indicate where they work and their level of influence. For example, if you put Kavang Singh, you put their number and you say they are a neurosurgeon somewhere, then you must indicate where they work for someone to be able to call them and verify, is this information that Yvonne has given me correct to the best of your knowledge or not? Then go ahead to declare. I, Daniela Joy Chigenyi, confirm or declare that the above given information is real and true to the best of my knowledge. And then indicate when you last updated your CV, because people keep getting different qualifications. You can go for a short course, you come and update your CV. You can get a side job or a part-time job, you include it in your CV. So you keep updating. Learning never ends, even in life. Your CV is a document that should keep updated. So you indicate when you last updated your CV for the goodness of the person that is going to employ you. As you can see, my candidate got 7 out of 9, not all the marks, because she didn't present the years when she was working as a doctor in this hospital. She didn't indicate the company or institution and the responsibilities she held. Otherwise, the CV is well accomplished And it's something I would encourage you to also write just like that. That's a thing on CV. So here is a speech. Speech, in case you're asked to write a speech, and this is very common. You need to be keen as you're analyzing writing a speech. This is a sample speech, and I think I've overspoken. Now I'm going to ask someone to help me and read this speech. If you're willing to take us through by reading, please raise your hand. My friends from St. Mary Assumpta, I think, are ready to take on this job. Are you?
It's fine. A speech delivered to the Minister of Local Government on a village meeting. Honorable Minister of Local Government, here with us today, respected local council chairperson and your team, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. My name is Ayebare Dempsey. Ian. Okay, Ian, a peaceful resident of the village. I am here to give a speech on behalf of my village. Honorable Minister, allow me to first appreciate you for sparing some time of your busy schedule to travel to this place to give us a listening ear. Now that we have seen you, I am more than confident that we shall be redeemed, because problem shared is half solved. Allow me also to thank God for everything that He is gradually for everything that He so gradually provides us with. However, in this village, we have a cocktail of shortcomings. To begin with, there is a very big mountain to climb, and that is none other object poverty. Honorable Minister, I want to assure you that most families in this area live below the poverty line. Some can hardly afford 3 meals a day. Majority of the youth have no jobs to make ends meet, and several school-going children have sadly dropped out of school. In addition, Your Honor, we have another monster called illiteracy, ignorance, and disease. Majority of the people are deficient of knowledge concerning basic hygiene, like boiling water for drinking and keeping oneself clean. For others, witchcraft is their hobby. As a result, hygiene-related epidemics such as cholera, dysentery, and malaria are the order of the day. As if that is not enough, Honorable Minister, we no longer sleep these days due to hardcore criminals that have turned our lives into a nightmare. 2 days can hardly pass before you hear that someone has been robbed. Animals are driven away at night, as well as poultry, putting farmers on tenterhooks
and leaving them utterly frustrated. Your Honor, it is absolutely true that a home without money is a workshop for domestic violence. For that matter, therefore, marital strife has escalated in this village. Some spouses have taken it further and hacked each other to death. If possible, Honorable Minister, death by hanging should be reinstated to serve as a warning to those intending to do so. In conclusion, amidst all these challenges, we are hopeful that something is going to be done to avert the appalling situation. Thank you so much, and may the good Lord reward you abundantly. By the way, madam, I'm so sorry. It's just that the words are looking tiny and I have some eye issues, that's why.
But you have read so well. Thank you so much for taking us through this speech. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, candidate, when you're asked to write a speech, I'm going to be really quick about this. Okay, please. My previous reader, please mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Please mute. Thank you. So here the speech is clear. The way you are expected to write it, you must have a title, also written in capital letters, indicating what you're doing, a speech delivered to who. And if the words allow you, you can even indicate the person speaking. For example, a speech delivered by the youth coordinator to the Minister of Local Government. That's allowed for you to put the speaker. But the most cardinal things to indicate are what you're doing. A speech delivered to who, for which occasion. Yes. Then go ahead and recognize the people present, starting with the highest official present. If you're giving a speech, as you're giving campaigns in your school, start with the director, the head teacher, the deputies, teachers present, our amazing students. Then in case you have forgotten any category, it's very important for you to put ladies and gentlemen, and you greet them. Good afternoon to you all. Introduce yourself formally. My name is Ayebare Demso. Ian, introduce yourself formally and put all your full name. Then you indicate who you are and in which capacity you are delivering the speech. If the scenario is asking you to speak as the chairperson, then after introducing yourself, you're going to say, I am the chairperson of Katikamu village, and I'm giving this speech on behalf of my family or in behalf of my village, on behalf of the youth. You indicate which capacity you are speaking in. Then now go ahead and deliver your content. As you're giving the speech, make sure it is not like any other kind of writing. Keep calling out your audience, honorable minister, students, doctors, teachers, in case the scenario is setting you to write a speech that you will deliver to a group of teachers, a group of students. So keep calling them out to get their attention. Students, I encourage you to do this. If you're asking for votes, you say, dear students, please choose me. I am the best person. Then you indicate your abilities. Students, if I must tell you this, so make sure your writing is interactive. Someone should read it and tell that indeed this is a speech. When you're introducing a new idea, please put it in a separate paragraph by indenting. This is how you indent. New paragraph, you leave some space. New paragraph, some space. new paragraph, some space. And it's very important for you to have at least 6 paragraphs in a speech, because that's how your work is going to be sufficient and you get all the marks for content. As you're concluding a speech, please bring it to an end naturally. Don't speak like your microphone failed and you end somewhere in the middle. Please conclude. Thank the people for listening to you. For God and my country. If you're giving your speech in a school, then you can also give your school motto. Together we win. Determination leads to success. Education with a difference. That way, you're showing that your speech has come to an end. Thank you so much for listening to me. That's how you conclude a speech. Okay. If you have any question about a speech, please, you can write it somewhere in your notebook. I'm trying to rush. We are getting to the very last item, which is creative writing. Now, this creative writing is something that I would wish to have a facilitation for separately. I hope Teacher Stephen is going to allow me the time to come and we discuss creative writing, the presentation of stories. Write a story about the, let me see, the unforgettable experience you had as you were leaving a party at night. It can be positive, it can be negative. They say write about the most exciting day of your orientation week at school, at the university, maybe. They can ask you to write anything. You're presenting your own story. You be begin to read the scenario. Does it need you to be part of the story? If yes, then you must use I. You must be part of the story. Now, I'm going to give a few highlights and request Teacher Stephen to just give me a day, even if it's for 30 minutes or 1 hour, to take the candidates through how to improve their creative writing. These are techniques or tactics or tips that we can use to write a good story. And I'm going to go through them real quick, and then we conclude this session. Candidates, when you're writing a story, 1, you must have a title. And your title must be encouraging, must be captivating, something that encourages someone to read your story. 2, do not skip lines. No, I didn't carry it. 2, do not skip lines. Please use indented paragraphs. It's very important. Do not skip lines, indent. 3, do not have many characters. You are writing a short story. Please have like 3 characters, at most 4. Don't write a short story that has 17 boys and all their names are in the story and everyone is doing something small. You're going to choose like 2 characters or 3 and focus on them. That way, you will be able to develop details to the boys in their behavior and physical stature. And as you're giving the details, the story will become more interesting. Setting. Please set your story in at most 2 places. Don't be in church, then you come from church, you go to school, from school you go to the bar, from the bar you go to the beach. Choose at least 2 settings. Places. Make sure you choose at least 2 places and you focus on them. If you're telling a story, maybe you moved from a party and went to some weird apartment, incomplete apartment. Then you tell a story of what happened there. If you were tortured, describe the apartment to the latter. Make sure everything is clear. When you have very many settings, it makes you to produce shoddy work and you don't give the details. So I encourage you to have like 2 places and then you explain them just like that. What else? What else? Use good words. The vocabulary should be nice. Be creative. Let your story flow, and you will be able to have a wonderful story. As for creative writing, I am going to still ask that we get maybe some more time for it, but this is it. And I'm going to share this PowerPoint with some of your teachers, and you'll be able to go through this story. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our training, facilitation, sharing. I am hoping that you have learned a thing or two. Now I'm going to ask you to raise your questions if you have any, starting from the beginning, from summary writing, if there is something you wanted to ask, if there is something you kept about presentation of feelings, if you have something about character traits, if you have any comment about this session, if you have any vote of thanks or any rectification, anything you want to say, this is the time for it. Please raise your hand and share any questions. So I don't know, if you know you have no question, please lower your hand for me to be able to choose the people that have questions. You could have raised your hand in the previous sessions and you forgot to put it down. Please put it down. Okay, so I'm going to start with Bishop Tarantino College. Please unmute.
This is Bishop Tarantino.
Yes,
And
please.
my question is in passage section A. We have been coming across questions asking for advice. So we want you to clarify to us, how can we give answers on advice?
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to note the questions down and answer them all at once. So let me jot that somewhere down. Advice, how to give advice. Thank you so much, Bishop Tarantino. I have noted that and I'm going to respond. Okay, Master, some group is called Master. Please unmute and ask your question. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, please.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'd like to ask on the issue of summary writing.
Yes, please.
In case I write and I'm caught up by time, and I have already only the rough copy, can I be marked right?
Caught up by time, rough copy. Okay, I am going to respond to that. Thank you. St. Francis High. St. Francis High, it's your time. Okay, St. Francis is not here. St. Mary, Assumpta Girls.
Madam, our question is, it is in the part of the summary writing.
Yes.
From the slide you showed us, the title was written from the beginning of from the margin, but what we were told is your title should be balanced in the middle of the page. It should be balanced on both sides. The sides where the title begins and where it ends should be balanced from both sides. But from what you showed us, they're not balancing. And then the second one is in the part of the CV. There's that one of biodata where you write your name and you write that word name, then you write your name besides it. But what I've seen was not exactly what we were told. What we were told was You write your name and then you leave some space before writing your name between that word name and your full name. At least 2 meters before you.
Okay.
And then, okay, 2 centimeters before you write your name. And then
Oh.
another one is just like, is the word it the only subject word used in summary writing? Because from what we are seeing, when you put a full stop, when you want to begin another statement, in most cases we use the word it. Is the word it the only subject word used to connect?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, those are wonderful questions. Thank you so much, Mary Assumpta Gauss. Rafiki SS. Rafiki SS. Okay, Rafiki is not speaking. So let me get another school. Yukuru Secondary School. Yukuru, please unmute. Yukuru, do you have a question?
Okay, thank you so much, Madam. I would like to appreciate you for the presentation you have done for us. It was really a wonderful presentation. So I just only have here some questions to be asked. Okay, the first question was about the summary writing. Okay, from the summary writing, I show your words have reached up to 115, and the article, which is A, it was counted, but our English teacher told us like maybe that one of summarizing. When you are counting the words, the article A, you are not supposed to count it because it stands by its own. It's an article. Okay, the other question is about the speech. Okay, from your speech, I saw the title is flat, not carrying this one here. Date and then the venue, and then the time of the title, the speech you have written. So I would like to first know the clarification about the article A, which is counted in the summary writing, and then the date and then the venue, the time, which was on the speech. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are wonderful questions that will guide our discussion. Paida Secondary School, please unmute.
Continue. My question is that when writing the letter, the formal letter, after writing the reference, is it allowed to put a full stop after writing the whole reason?
Another question is, do you also skip a line when writing? Actually, when you have written an address, like the date, do you skip a line, or you just write the date immediately after the address? And another one is, you people, according to the sample you gave us, there was a full stop under the at the end of the date. But now if you are to see, like, the year is infinity, so how comes that after the date you people put full stop after the date? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful questions. Let me see. I wanted to give Katikam chance, but I can't see them anymore. So Lango College. Lango College, I think. Okay, the hand was up by mistake. Ali Makodra, SS. Ali Makodra, SS. Okay, so they are not unmuting. Safe Haven. Yes, please.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Lydia.
Yeah, this is St. Haven Christian High School, and my name is Lois. Here I
Yes,
have
Lois.
questions on the issue of the speech writing.
Okay.
Is it wrong if one indicate the place of the meeting time with the name of the person in giving the speech?
As you're introducing yourself?
Yes, if you're introducing like the heading or the title of the speech. And if I'm to use the proverb, if I'm to use the proverb in my explanation, am I allowed to interpret the proverb, or I can use the evidence in the passage?
Okay. Should we interpret?
And on the pertaining the informal letter, last time we were given a letter to write like a condolence letter, and we are confused, so we want to know if there is a need to write an address when you are tasked to write a condolence letter to your friend, like I'm meaning the sender address or the receiver address. Is it appropriate to write them whole, or you just write the sender address, or you don't even write it at all?
Okay.
Another one is if writing like a summary, title for the summary, is it possible to put a full stop at the end or not? At the end of the title.
Okay.
I think our questions end here. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, people of Safe Haven. Mamba SS. Oh, Mamba.
Madam.
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Okay. My question is like this. On summary writing, you have said, the note that you have given us, you say that the heading, what are equal, should be in capital letters. So the question goes like this. What if I write in small letters, but first the letters of the content word, I capitalize them. Is it allowed? And I underline.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to respond to that. Title in small letters. Underlined. Out. So I'm going to receive the last two questions and then I answer. Let me give a chance to Arua SS. Arua SS. Arua. Arua is not responding. Nyarilo SS. Yeah, read or SS.
My concern is about summary writing.
Mm.
In case I make a mistake in fair copy, am I allowed to cross? That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. And final question by St. Francis Xavier.
Thank you, madam. Just granted. The question is, when I am writing any letter and because of too much content, I write some of the work on the next page, can I be penalized? The next one, am I penalized to put a full stop on the title when writing the summary? Another, I would like to know how many sentences should a paragraph contain in all informal and formal letters. Another one, is a letter supposed to be on more than one pages? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, St. Francis Xavier, for those questions. I know the time is not allowing me to pick the other questions. Allow me to answer the questions given. So the first question from St. Tarantino High School was, how do we give advice? You have read a passage and they are asking you to advise. How do you advise the government to deal with this? How would you advise the head teacher in the passage to go about this situation? They are asking for suggestions on how to manage behavior. It will take me back to the other part of giving your opinion. You must give practical advice that is morally upright and achievable. So I advise you to think critically and provide advice that is doable, practical, but also correct. Do not advise someone to be evil. For example, don't advise the head teacher to poison students. No, you must advise the head teacher. Now, I say, in my opinion, I advise the head teacher to hire a counselor to speak to the children that are using drugs. I advise parents to take their children for guidance and counseling, to take them to rehab centers. I advise the head teacher to introduce physical education in case there is a problem of obesity and children growing very fat. So you must advise someone to do something practical, achievable, morally upright, and beautiful on advice. And you must use, I advise, or the head teacher should, the government should, because you're giving a suggestion. That's on advice. Next question, what if I am caught up by time and I've just written the rough copy? Candidates, if you remember very well, I said do not cross out your rough copy. If you're caught up by time and you only have the rough copy, you have a minimal chance of being considered. But if you've crossed it through, you will have 0-0 there and then. So in case you're caught up by time and you have only your rough copy, just leave it there. Do not cross it. Do not strike through it. Leave it. If you're lucky, you're going to be considered. But if you have crossed through it, then it's a 0-0 there and then. So I still insist, when you write your rough copy, do not cross it. Leave it. If time catches you, yes, you may be considered, but that is not supposed to make you get lazy and you don't write both and say, Kasta, the teacher said they are going to consider me. No, I encourage you to write both, but in case you're caught up, yes, the answer is yes, you may be considered. Assumpta Girls asked about the title being balanced. That is optional. You can balance it. You could start from the margin. The most important thing is for it to be in capital letters, and you're safer that way. So you can balance it, you can put it on the margin as long as it is in capital letters yourself. Now, about CV and the biodata and skipping lines or skipping 2 centimeters before you write the name. That's good. That's very good. I'm glad that your teacher taught you like that. I love it because it makes the work neat, and neatness is key. At the end of the day, if you compact your words, chances are high the CV is going to look ugly. So I agree with your teacher on that, and I encourage you to keep it up like that. Then for pronouns, teacher, is it that after writing every sentence, the only pronoun you can have is it? The answer is no. Sometimes if you're addressing something that is in plural, for example, causes of diseases, you're going to say diseases are caused by poor sanitation, hereditary factors, and the use of technology. They are caused by, so the pronoun is derived from the subject. If you're talking about one thing, then it's important for you to put it because it's the only thing that can replace the subject in the first sentence. However, if there are many, then you can use they. Then some people also choose to keep repeating the subject. That is also okay. So you choose what you want to do. The subject can be replaced in the other sentences, not the first one, and that will be fine. Okay. Yukuru asked about summary writing. 115 words, are the articles counted? My dear, the articles are counted. They are counted. Yes, they are counted because they are also words. It is a word class. In the 8 word classes in English, we have nouns, adjectives, pronouns, conjunctions, interjections, and articles are also there. Articles are words, you need to count them. In a speech, showing the date, venue, and time is very important. However, sometimes you don't want your title to be too long. So in the title, I highly encourage you to add them. Yes, the date, venue, and time. A speech by who, when, where, what time. Very important. I agree with your teacher on that. Please add them. Just make sure it doesn't become too long. Okay. PIDA SS, they asked about a formal letter. After writing the reason, should you put a full stop? No. In the example that we put, of course, this is a candidate just like you, so you don't have to put a full stop, and I agree with your teacher on that. Do you skip a line after the address and date? No. The rule is very simple and easy to comprehend. Do not skip a line anywhere. As simple as that. Do not skip a line. Should we put a full stop after the date? No. The full stop is put after the district. If you put your school, comma, PO box, which district, then you put a full stop. That date is infinity indeed, and you leave it the way it is. At Safe Haven, Lois asked about speech showing the place of meeting. Yes, it's very important for you to indicate the speech, where the place where you're giving, excuse me, the place where you are giving the speech. It's very important. And about using proverbs to explain feelings, she asked, should we interpret the proverb or illustrate it? The answer is illustrate the proverb. You don't have to explain it that this proverb means this and this. No, give the proverb and illustrate it. You are good to go. You're better off illustrating with the information from the passage. Don't forget what I told you. The goal is for you to show that you have understood what the passage is about. So the illustration is more important than describing what the proverb is. Then about informal letters, as someone asked that if you're writing a condolence letter to a friend, should we have the address? Should it be a formal letter or informal letter? That is an informal letter. You're writing a condolence letter to a friend. It is clear you're writing to a friend, and you must indicate your address because your friend should know where the letter is coming from. However, in a friendly letter, we only have one address, like how I illustrated with an example. So you use only one address, which is yours, you, the writer. Then you write to your friend, dear Rachel, I am writing to condole with you, to express my sympathies about your loss, and the other paragraphs are there to give your friend comfort. You can give some Bible verses or Quranic verses. You can ask your friend how you can be of help as she's going through this hard time. So it's an informal letter with one address. The title of the summary, should it have a full stop or not? No, it doesn't have a full stop because it's not a sentence, it's just a title, and full stops mark the end of a sentence. In case the example I had a full stop, I apologize on behalf of this candidate. You're not supposed to have a full stop. So if you write your title in small letters and underline, is that allowed? It is allowed, but I highly encourage you to choose capital letters. Who knows when you will forget to underline? If you don't underline a title that is in capital letters, zero. So I encourage you to go with a safer option, which is capital letters. Okay. From Nyarilo School, summary writing. If there is a mistake in the fair copy, should we cross? Yes, to err is human. We cannot say that since you're copying to the fair copy, never cross. No, you can cross, but cross out neatly. Strike through your word once. Do not put many crosses as if you were insulting someone and you don't want them to read the insult. Please cross out once. Let your work stay neat. Your fair copy must indeed look fair and beautiful. But when you make a mistake, to err is human. You're going to cross through just once and you continue. We allow you to do all the mistakes and crossing and adding and V's and down in the rough copy. Fair copy, try to be as neat as possible. And then if any mistake comes up, don't kill yourself. Just cross out once and then continue. At St. Francis Xavier, if you write your letter and your content goes to the next page, are you penalized? No, just don't go to the next page up to the last line, but you can write your letter because the addresses take a considerable amount of lines, and then you write your salutation, your reason. So by the time you start your first paragraph, you have started like from the middle of the page. So it is only fair that we take it in good faith when you spread to the next page. Just don't overdo it as if you're writing a complete story. Remember, your letter should have some 6 paragraphs. So, but if they go to the next page and maybe you're signing on the next page or concluding and signing on the next page, that is really fine. Full stop on the title of the summary, we already said no. How many sentences should be in one paragraph in the letter? I encourage you to have like 4 to 5 sentences that will allow you to have like 4 lines in a foolscap or in your exercise book. So your paragraph is like 4 to 5 lines long. And then you develop around 5 to 6 paragraphs and you are good to go. So thank you very much for your audience. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for those wonderful questions. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for all the questions you've given. Thank you for your teachers. Thank you for connecting and taking time to help the students with your gadgets and your internet. I know some of you have put in your money. May God bless you. Thank you so much, students. I wish you success. I pray that you get A's. I pray that the things we've talked about will come in your paper and you will excel at all levels. May God bless you. May God keep you safe. May you be for signs and wonders. Bye. Teacher Stephen, if you're still on the call, I hand over to you. Thank you for the opportunity.